Good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome to NFT Live on the Web3 Network. Another week in Web3 that we're going to try to survive together. Nice to see you guys in the comments here early. Peter Koo, PJ and Kim, Christian Jensen, Easy and Crypto. We just pressed live here after a couple great morning shows over there on the X Spaces. Excited to be sitting here with some friends. Huda, Biggie Poppins, Gifted. Hi. I'm excited to not have to do a 6 to 9 box episode. This is casual for me now.
Dude, that was so good.
Thursday and Friday we did back-to-back majorly packed episodes here. But I'm sitting here with the OGs. Huda, what's up, brother? I know you have to leave here relatively shortly, but nice to see you, man.
Yeah, you too, man. Yeah, I today's my big heavy writing day, so I got to get that knocked out. But I haven't chatted with you guys in a couple days, so I had to come by and say hello. How's the morning show going, dude? You're staying busy.
It's a grind. It's a grind, but it's been fun, man. Ton of collaborators coming in there, like builders that we talk about on the daily. Just hop up and are like, this is what I'm doing, and it's like there's a lot of like collaboration and collaborative effort there. But yeah, it's been fun.
That SEI ecosystem, man, that is something different. It's something special.
Yeah, love it. Biggie Poppins, how's the weather?
Oh man, it's fantastic. I love it because you get here and sometimes they like try to threaten you with some cloudy days. I always brush them off. The sun always wins when you're near the beach, and it's no different today. They were clamoring yesterday, saying that it was going to be real crappy and nice and sunny. So I love it.
All right, Gifted is putting us to shame here with his shirt, his background, just everything. Hey, look at, let's go full screen on this. That's a Chungo shirt. Look, my man is killing it. What's up, dude?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if y'all could also notice this youthful glow I have about me, because the sun's actually been out the last couple of days in LA. So yeah, the weather's been nice here, and I've actually been able to get some of my vitamin D in. But yo, smash the like for my Chungo's shirt. Smash the
you gotta do it.
These awesome people up here.
Do it.
Chungo. All right, no, we're not gonna go. We're not gonna go all in on it, but anyway, it's awesome to see a Huda here. Yeah, Huda's like, yeah, y'all are staying busy. My man's like dropping videos at 5 a.m. every single day. Like, all right, bud.
Every day, not taking a break, dude. Actually, I bet today's the 6-month anniversary from when I started, but 6 months, 7 days a week, man.
Holy crap.
Hell yeah.
Grinders up here.
Building.
Yeah, we are going to build. We're going to build a good episode here too, Biggie. You like that pun? All right,
yeah.
We're going to just get into it. A lot of news coming through from some major platforms. Magic Eden is one of them. Pudgy Penguins dumped. To me, and I've said this on the channel before, I don't like this whole like, okay, now Pudgy Penguin sucks just because it dumped. And oh wait, Pudgy Penguins pumped, so now Pudgy Penguins is awesome. We've talked about that a lot. Yeah, exactly.
S tier. Sorry,
I love it at 100 ETH. I hate it at 1 ETH. So
crazy.
You know
right?
what I'm saying? Yeah.
But Gifted, before we get off and running, and I'm going to share out the links to you guys as well. But you know what we got to do, Gif.
Comment on Biggie Poppins' awesome sunglasses.
No.
Thank you, sir.
One more guess.
Make a joke about Nifty Q and his weird things that he says.
Yes.
All right, whatever. Y'all know what it is. This is not financial advice. We're not financial advisors. Even the resident wizard Huda down here, who's about to make generational wealth on his magical kitten, is not a financial advisor. None of us are. So do your own research. We say this for your safety and for ours. Just remember, it's your bag, fam. It's not ours. We're not responsible for the crazy shit that you degen into.
All right. Great job, as always. Justin Casey asking, Huda, did you get that cat yet? Before we jump into this quantum cat piece, Huda, I just wanted to point this out. We showed this off on GM Web 3 this morning, as well as Say What? The first CryptoSlam 24-hour NFT volume update. And look what we have here. Say makes its first appearance on CryptoSlam.
In the top
right.
10.
Wow.
Above Arthur, Flo, and Ronan. Love to see that.
Yeah. I love that new chart, by the way. We brought on his name's Barb. He comes from StockTwits. So he's now over helping us out with our Twitter, which we desperately need, right? And so he's putting out these daily charts. I didn't say a thing to him about Say. He just did that on his own, right? Because everyone's paying attention to Say. He was doing these already. He's just doing the same thing, but with us.
People know.
Everyone knows. Everybody's talking about Say. Everyone feels like they missed Say, and I'm trying to tell them you didn't. Like, this is still early. When everybody's talking like that, and then they won't touch it, dude, you're still early.
The 24-hour volume on this stuff is like $2,000, $5,000. Like, dude, we're so early. All right, while we still have you, Huda, let's break down the Quantum Cats, and then you just shared the Magic Eden announcement. So let's do it in that order. What the heck's going on with Quantum Cats? Something obviously went wrong, you were saying before we press live. What is that?
The litter is feisty.
Dude, yes, the pack, the litter, they're getting hungry and they're getting feisty. So all I know right now is the mint went live, let's say about an hour and a half ago. As far as I know, nobody's been able to mint yet. So you go to the site. Everything's working okay up to that point. You can click how many you're minting. You click mint and nothing happens. Now, for some people, it went a little further and it took them to another screen. Didn't process. If they go back and try to mint again, they see they had that previous cat like checking out basically, but now there's an extra cat in there. So TLDR, I think they're just going to reset it back to square one, fix whatever was broken at the start. Whether that means they're going to delay the mint, the public, till tomorrow, or just push everything this couple hours, I don't know yet. But again, as of right now, no one's been able to mint. Oh, and let me add, people are going fucking bonkers over this thing. Like just in general about this mint, like everyone on every chain is talking about this mint. It's crazy.
So did you actually send a transaction, Huda? Like, did you, because they're raising funds here. Like it's a 0.1 mint, correct?
Correct. Yes. And no, nothing was sent yet. So they didn't take any money and they don't have to juggle anything like that yet. Thank God. That could have been a mess. So yes, it never generates anything to your wallet to approve.
Okay. Guys, do you have any other questions here on Quantum Cats? I feel like right now at this point, I'm just in other ecosystems. I rely on these guys who are in Ordinals to keep me updated, but I'm not doing a Quantum Cat. I didn't take part in the events. Any thoughts on Ordinals?
Price predictions.
No.
I bet it does at least a 3x, just given the hype. Even though it's so like, what's the supply? Is it 10K?
No,
it's 3,000. It's 3,000, right? Yeah, I think it'll probably do a 2.5 to 3x. If I had to guess, will it hold that in the short term? I don't know. Probably not. It seems like everything comes down a little bit in the short term. But they'll fly. I'm trying to convince my man Q over here to be looking at Bitcoin puppets since they've retraced and come back down, because I think this is the degen meme play on Ordinals. People are going wild for these pups right now, and they've come down a little bit. They were flying, dude. Go look at the chart. Go look at the chart on these.
And this is the time to get in. Everybody's freeing up liquiidity for Quantum Cats. This
go out to like a month or even 7 days. Yeah, look at this, man. Tell me you're not liking what you're seeing here. Look how many people are buying well above the floor. That's one of the best indicators here. But yeah, man, I like literally where it started to ramp up there is where I bought and then told everybody I got my first ordies and that I live and die by the memes. So I'm not saying it's a direct correlation that pups are flying off the news that I got in and bought some. I'm just saying it's always interesting seeing these correlations and timing happen.
Yeah, so Node Monkeys is at 0.168. Puppets is at 0.043. What even is 0.043 in USD?
What is it, like $1,500?
No, it's like 1,500 to two. Yeah, probably less than 2,000.
So, Gabe, I have a question since you've been in the puppets for a little while now, and I'm sure you joined the Discord and the Telegram, and you're like super in the community. If I was to be looking at buying one of these, like, I want the alpha, man. I want the insider alpha, bro. Like, what traits should I be looking in the puppets? Like, don't tell me like get whatever you want. I want the puppet ruler.
Well, that's the interesting thing is that I don't know yet much about the traits other than ones that I personally think are interesting. Because when you go to Magic Eden, there's not actually rarity on the different traits. So right now, I think a lot of people are just picking up the different aesthetics and things that are good to them. I don't know that there's specific rarities on traits, or at least where to find those. Maybe there is. Maybe there's another third-party platform, but they're like, yeah, click in on one and then go look at the traits. I don't think there's any rarity scores at all. Like, this is one that I personally don't find particularly aesthetic, so it wouldn't be my first choice. But yeah, so you can see there the traits. There's no rarity points or anything like that given. So I don't know on that front. And then as far as like, are there specific traits that are like starting to form DAOs or certain communities?
Yeah, that was my follow-up.
That's another thing that I don't know that yet either, because I'm still pretty new. But what I am seeing is a ton of organic interest around it. People creating graffiti art, people creating a shit ton of memes, because these things are absolutely a great fucking meme. And the creator of it, I don't know who they are. I think they're anon, but they're really fucking weird and interesting and creative, and definitely a total fucking meme lord. And like that, I'm just like, dude, this guy gets the fucking internet culture and like how to meme a meme. So that's pretty much what I'm liking, is that like the funny thing is, you know, Prodigy doesn't seem to understand. Like, Prodigy was flaming me when I said that these were actually like pretty cool, and then I was like commenting on shitty art on other projects. But to me, if you understand the difference between purposefully creating something that kind of has a shitty aesthetic versus something that's just like low quality, low effort, or isn't actually achieving a good aesthetic that it's going for, these are very different things. Memes are a very specific thing. And so when I look at this, I say this artist actually knew what he was doing and managed to create an iconic shitty aesthetic. Like, he was going for creating something that doesn't look super high quality. It's lo-fi. Like, good. Literally
super
that
self-aware, right?
That is, like the style is lo-fi shitty Microsoft Paint. Like, that's purposefully what he went for, and he fucking nailed it. And so if you don't understand the difference between purposefully, in a self-aware way, going for a lo-fi Microsoft Paint character and doing that very well versus trying to create like an anime collection and doing a shitty job, these are very different situations.
Like, you have to, if you don't see the difference between Pixelmon and the puppets, right? Like, then make it your mission to understand why those two are different. If it's shitty art, then you got to understand, again, there's something that separates the two. One, like Giv said, is purposeful. The other one is more of an oopsie. So
yeah.
Great.
So anyway, I like the pups, and I'm trying to get Nifty Q to make it his first ordies too.
I could be down for it. I just like getting into Bitcoin. I don't. All my Bitcoin's locked up in BlockFi, baby. I would have been all over this. But anyways, yes. Okay.
Would you have, or would you been bridging to say, like I've been doing, Q? Because man, say has just been capturing my attention like nobody's business. Like, it's really hard to pay attention to any other chain at the moment, to me. And I am at a point right now where I'm like, did I just like drink the whole fucking Kool-Aid punch? You know, like I drank the whole fucking thing because it's something else.
Being naked's a hell of a drug, man. You know,
it is.
I think it's the influence of getting in on a cool community early has Biggie a little bit drunk over here.
It's wild. It's wild to have been at the very. It wasn't the start, right? The first chain, I think, or the first block. Was mined, quote unquote, on or put into the blockchain. It
was like August.
Yeah. Like it's not necessarily the newest, but amongst like larger chains, it's definitely new. But dude, it's been crazy to watch the growth there and just have been a part of it from the very fucking beginning, basically, when there were 4 projects on Pallet. That was like 3 weeks ago, by the way.
Yeah,
it's just been a wild ride.
It reminds me of Ordinals early too. I mean, this is what they feel like when they're early, and just like on Bitcoin, say is really early.
All right, PJ and Kim is saying low effort punks on ETH are the hands down king of this paint production meme lord stuff. Justin Casey saying damn, shots fired, lights out, go GIF. Mark Powell saying just buy a Cool Cat long term next to have a pump like Pudgy. We'll look into that here in just a second. Okay, Huda, while we still have you, you did share the Magic Eden announcement. I thought we were getting a marketplace. I really thought the ETH marketplace, although they've been kind of comboing announcements, so maybe we see an ETH marketplace announcement in an hour or something like that. But it was more about their Magic Eden wallet and the perks, and there's a really cool tie-in with CryptoSlam as well. So what do you got here, man?
Right, it is a cool tie-in, and I wouldn't be shocked, by the way, if they do have more. I think there's a new strategy from I don't know, project builders, whatever, not to trickle stuff out anymore. It's hit everybody with everything at once. So maybe there's more coming. But yeah, on their announcement, and it's the second tweet in the thread, they're teasing a little perk for the CryptoSlam family here. So there it is, special perk. And I don't have any more info than that, other than to say, if you've been doing the Zeely quest, you're on the right track. So tied in there.
Damn.
Y'all, come on, get after Huda in the comments here. He's trying to gaslight y'all into thinking he doesn't know more right now, but we got to get the real alpha out of my man before he disappears. So flame him in the chat till he tells us what's up.
It's kind of, it's one of those things you let your imagination kind of run, and you're probably not wrong, I guess. So yeah.
We have never done a better job of bringing you guys the stuff that you need to be looking at and hitting on than this year, like the end of this year going into now. Like, we really have not done a better job, in my opinion. Like, there are a ton of things that we've covered here on the network that are just
early.
Oh my God,
dude, I can promise you, I listen to plenty of stuff. This is, I mean, like you guys, and I think everyone listening, this is all I do all day. I sit here, I listen, I work. I don't think there's anybody who breaks stuff as early as you guys at this point. I'm literally blown away by that.
It's not even to like blow smoke up my ass. It's like looking at it and saying, okay, we've actually made a couple really nice hits, but was I allocated correctly? Like we're going to touch on base later in the episode. Base is starting to pick up. Like if you see what we're looking at on SEI, and you see what we're looking at on a couple different pieces that we brought up, base is 100% about to freaking blow, I think. So we'll see, man. But it's been a wild ride. And dude, CryptoSlam, Zeely points, these daily quests, you need to be hitting them. Like if you're not, you're just being fucking lazy at this point. We're showing it right to you. We are dangling it right in front of your face. I don't know how you could be any more lazy if you're not doing it.
Here's even a little tip too.
Hand holding you, man.
Yeah, dude, really. Okay, but here's the little secret. Don't share it outside of here. But I'm pretty sure the way that we set up the trivia where you earn points, I don't even think you have to get the question right. I think just click it. Like this is literally an exercise where you click through, and you can do it every day to earn points. So there you go.
Yeah.
Huda, I did notice though that like some people just leapfrogged me, and they all have these very weird emails. And I'm thinking these are like farmer bots or something. Are we gonna clean these fuckers out?
So there's definitely bots, although the top of that leaderboard are all people I recognize too. So I wonder where they rank in it. And I got to see if they're gaming the system somehow. There's one quest on there where you have to manually submit feedback. And I realized I got to go in there and approve it. That's where I'm noticing some body kind of stuff. So I got to figure out maybe what to do with that. Maybe I'll remove that entirely. But it should be capped still like once per day that you can get the max points. And, somebody's got it, bought it and figured out. To some degree, there's not a ton you can do, but I'll peek.
I'm definitely getting destroyed by bots over here. But yeah, Cat's coming in saying he's got his alarm set, and that's his top secret there that we just shared publicly. Again, for the friends and the smart people who follow along.
All right, I dropped the link there in the chat. I've shared out gift deads. I've shared out DPs. Now you get my link for this CryptoSlam Zeely piece. I don't know if that probably gets extra points and all of that stuff, so that would be dope, because I didn't do any of these quests over the weekend. I just I've got so much shit going on. I'm trying to touch grass, trying to watch the Lions lose in the playoffs. Like I just didn't hit it.
I'll see if I can set up a special quest just for you, just to make up those points.
All right,
just for the Web3 community.
All right, let's jump back into this, and I want to tie in OpenSea to this too, because Gif, you were mentioning earlier that we might be getting a potential OpenSea acquisition here, but Magic Eden seems to have their fucking finger on the pulse of everything. They're getting it. This is the first time I've seen a wallet actually get loaded up with potential like quest points. Don't murder me, Marty. I don't know if Rabby does this, but when you look at this and it says, let me make sure I'm getting this, along with CryptoSlam, you have in-wallet open editions, you have boosted AL odds, You have 1.2 point multipliers on Liquidium, so DeFi. You have boosted odds on Saturn BTC airdrop. What other wallet? And this is again pointing the trigger or the gun and the mark directly at MetaMask, who has been in this space doing God knows what for how long. And you look at Magic Eden, and they've got it, dude. It's as simple as that. Full stop. Magic Eden knows what the fucking culture is, and they're building products for it, and that's why they're winning.
Nailed it. They're not fucking around. They're taking it serious. They understand the opportunity. Reminds me like exactly about Blur when they went full throttle and they were so tapped into the NFT culture that it was just, you know, that windfall event. Like they are that. They are absolutely that for the NFT ecosystem right now.
All right, introducing Magic Eden Wallet, the only wallet you'll need for your multi-chain NFT needs, instant cross-chain swaps, NFT portfolio management, native ordinals and BRC20 support, end-to-end rare stats management, plus all of the bonuses we just talked about. And of course, they got a nice handy-dandy trailer. GIF, maybe this Magic Eden Wallet is 100% the way that I get my first ordinal. Like, again, the setup of a lot of different stuff, the trying to get Bitcoin. Well, if you have
Phantom or Leather? Do you have Phantom or Leather?
I don't have Leather. I have a Leather wallet, but not Leather.
So Leather connects to Magic Eden. It's really easy. It's super easy.
Unless there's a reason why Leather would be better than Magic Eden's native wallet, I'll probably just use Magic Eden's. Like, it sounds like they're going to be launching like NFT rewards, basically that token that they announced last week. So
you know what I didn't realize on Magic Eden too, because I hadn't really used a lot in the past, but I was shopping this weekend. And I realized you could buy like a Solana NFT with ETH. So, and I think maybe there's other marketplaces that do that, but if so, I didn't know. Maybe I don't do that much shopping, right? But that's interesting. So to me, if you can go buy maybe an ordinal with your Sol or with your ETH or whatever USD, like, to me that opens up a lot more. Really, really interesting marketplace there, man. Jeez.
There was some controversy earlier in the week about how Bored Ape didn't support NFT Bark. I guess the Everything token was a book that he put out, and apparently made by apes and like all of this stuff. They didn't support Bark doing it or Steve. Well, and that's not a part of this story, but I'm just seeing Steve here, which triggered my that story in my head. But anyways, the main story here is OpenSea, which is a platform that had a 27-3 lead over everybody, that basically just fumbled the bag at every occasion, is now potentially, and I say potentially, open to being acquired. So this is the kind of rumor that we're hearing. OpenSea is open to being acquired. Any entity buying the OpenSea should get a steep discount to that, I guess, the previous valuation. A token does acquire it for users more than a product. So he's kind of like talking to these potential entities that are set to acquire it. But you can see OpenSea chief says NFT platform is open-minded.
I feel bad.
I would like to. Yeah, and I do think, dude, there's one. I think there is one key aspect that we need to acknowledge, and this is not to say that OpenSea does not deserve tremendous amount of criticism when it comes to their relationship with their customers, right? 100%. Like, they've just been tone deaf, deliberately so, you know, and we've talked about it many times in the show here. But there's one thing that we just have to acknowledge that is beyond their reach and ability to control, and that is regulatory clarity. You must recognize, I think, that their hands have been tied in that regard when it comes to even hinting at a token because of that, right? I'm not saying this absolves them of their transgressions with their holders, right? But it is something that I think is important to highlight, not so much in trying to excuse OpenSea, right? But as to the type of space that we're trying to build on top of, right? At least here in the Western world, you know, where you have the eye of Sauron constantly looking and surveilling to see who they kneecap next, right?
But yeah, I'll push back on this just a little bit, because I don't think they needed to launch a token or even hint at one to be successful. It goes much deeper than the token.
Well, let's be real. The token hinting it's in vogue. Q. I don't see, any project out there that's worth its salt, not at least dismiss the possibility of it happening down the line, right? It is something that if you say no token, no, not a chance. Watch your price trader. Watch your holders leave. I'm sorry, like it is something that is in the back of it. I'm here, right?
I mean, totally true.
Yeah, you're here.
Yeah. We had a little lag. But I mean, the reason I feel bad for him is I think the CEO is just talking too casually because he's clarified they're not for sale. Like he said it again in context of some question asked in an interview. What I really think though is, I mean, like I really think they're just not trying that hard. I think they wouldn't mind being bought out. I think they'd love to get out of this at this point. Like they've made their money, man. Yep. They don't seem to be hungry to innovate. They don't seem to be hungry and passionate about the space. That's fine. It's totally fine. But that was my read on it all. He's just talking really, really casually that they're open to anything. And then us, we as the space collectively ran with that narrative. So again, he came back out and clarified they're not like looking to be acquired.
It's a good update. GIF, thoughts?
Well, on the points and the token thing, a large reason why they lost is because of Blur came out with a token. So I do think that is a big deal. Yeah, if they are trying to be acquired, even if it's like sort of back burner or not that front facing, optically they're keeping it sort of like more low key right now, then yeah, that would also imply that they're probably not working on a token, because trying to be launching a token while getting, maybe cleaning up things for an acquisition, I don't think those two things go together. But it also reminds me of something that I don't think we've checked in on, that we were talking a lot about in 2022. And I meant to kind of like bring it into another discussion, but whatever happened to Reddit's IPO? Because that was supposed to be a big deal. It was supposed to be one of the biggest IPOs of 2023. Sorry, I think I meant 2023. It was supposed to be one of the biggest IPOs of 2023. And I don't remember ever seeing a Reddit IPO. So I don't know. That's kind of like a tangent, but OpenSea was one of these things that at a certain point we were like, are they going to IPO? They've been going more down that web 2 business side. Yeah. And so again, it's like, that was one of the reasons why they probably didn't ever seriously entertain tokens or teasing them out or doing points in the first place, is because again, they've been going more down this like a traditional business web 2 path. Even though, they were like the original web 3 marketplace in a lot of ways.
In a lot of ways, they still have market share. I'm looking at the NFT market overview here, and it's still 50-50 when it comes to unique buyers. This is on Ethereum. This is, and I think it's, I don't know if it takes into account other blockchains. I know that they do that support, but in a lot of ways, OpenSea is still a big player here.
Well, and again, there's
volume
still
side, but still there.
Yeah, and because of their tech, their user interface and user experience, they're still really well positioned for another bull run, because a lot of new users will feel more comfortable using OpenSea than maybe even a Magic Eden or other places. Yeah, I don't know, man.
It doesn't take much to turn that ship around too. We've seen how quickly the sentiment changes, and that goes both ways. So man, again, I think if they were hungry enough and they wanted to, they could fix this overnight. I don't
make
think they do.
One cool update,
right? One
I think
we've gone years with
cool update, and people would get back on their side a little bit. Huda,
look at how excited people were when they dropped that OpenSea Pro, like that diamond NFT, whatever. You know what I mean?
The gems.
The gems, people were hyped there thinking there was something cool coming. And again, it just takes the one moment. I don't know if they'll do it.
I will say, and I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, but Seed Phrase continues to buy those contributor gems. It's pretty crazy. I don't know if he knows something nobody else knows, but
he might just be expecting that, whenever OpenSea 2.0, whatever that is, comes out, that those are going to play a role, right? So he might just be purely speculating.
That's interesting, though. I didn't know that was him.
Huda, I'm with you completely when you just try to highlight the team. You highlight some teams that are building really quick, understand it, and you highlight some teams that just don't get it. It doesn't have to be any more than that. Like, it really doesn't. So Quantum Variant saying the IPO market was weak with interest rates so high and still is. He's also saying, why buy OpenSea when you can just build it for 1/100th of the price? PJ and Kim saying OpenSea is the iPhone of the space, aesthetically pleasing and very intuitive to use.
Sarah's saying, doesn't Blur only have 2 wallets controlling the lending? She says Blur crashes and burns, in my opinion.
You know, one thing that leads even into that is the Pac-Man is already diversifying himself. He's done it with Blend, and now he's doing it with Blast. Even if Blur fails, it feels like this guy is just moving ridiculously quick. It's like, okay, then he just is the co-founder of one of the largest altchains by TVL. If Blur fails.
Sarah saying Blur ruined NFTs.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
Magic Eden, the team we're talking about, has now flipped from starting that movement to now being the degen, like for the culture marketplace.
Well, and
but it's just
that
because
is
that
sort
team
of
fucking moves.
Yeah, that is sort of the point here, is that if you've got the right leadership and impetus, that you can turn things around very quickly in the space, and Magic Eden is the one that seems to have really done that. One marketplace. But
Biggie, any last thoughts here before we move on? Are you muted?
Yeah, no, I'm happy that about what Magic Eden is doing, and so I'm just zeroing in and focusing on that, right? Like I said again, OpenSea's utility for me right now is just a great wallet explorer, and that's about it. You know, I don't know, like I see people in the space right now lamenting their team's past mistakes and complaining about something not being shipped first, and it's always fair, right? Like, you can't lose sight of these things. You track them and act accordingly. But honestly, I just focus on the stuff that motivates me and that I see that's positive and it's moving the space forward. And to me, that's like things like Magic Eden, Ordinals, and SEI right now. And so I'm focusing on that, and I'm trusting that my thesis on at least a good handful of the projects that I bet on over on ETH at some point will do good on their promises, right? Like, but there's no point in highlighting kicking a dead horse.
Yeah, it's true.
My 2 cents.
We've been talking. It's felt like we're trying to like coax OpenSea into doing something for about a year and a half. It's like we're here. We're kind of waiting.
Quick update for you guys. And it like change the topic, but Quantum Cats extended the whitelist period until 4 p.m. Eastern time. So just a heads up, and I think some mints are starting to go through.
Nice. Do we have any on secondary yet?
So they're not going to deliver to wallets till tomorrow. So today we don't have anything to worry about there. Tomorrow, man, shit.
Okay, we got a comment earlier from Justin Casey saying that we faded the MochiMons NFT, apparently, even though we've been talking about base for a while. I'm going to quickly re-ranch this. This is NFT Live. We host this daily with these awesome creators up here, Huda, Biggie, Poppins, Gifted, and I'm Nifty Q. We get after it, man. We had some awesome guests last week. We had Proof, Moonbirds.
Ranch.
We had Jessica Yatrosky in to talk about Nifty Kit's launch of Sarah Scripps Diamonds on base. That was sick. So we are going to touch on base real quick. But yeah, please leave a like for these awesome guys up here, as well as your fellow. If you support us, you're supporting your fellow creators, right? Like Inso Facto, if we're supporting them. So yeah, leave a like on these shows. We appreciate you guys a bunch, whether you're on X or YouTube.
This is literally the least extractive crew that you could ever support, because all we do is continue to pour everything back into the space and lose it. Anything we've ever made has literally been poured back into the space. I can swear to this. You can check all of my wallets.
People say they love that, but they hate it.
I have almost never taken out of this space. I've only ever put into it and continued to fucking reinvest, hoping that one day that turns into gold and turns into something else. So just know, supporting this crew is absolutely supporting the true diggers, the ones who will keep on digging until we get to the other side of whatever literally this thing is.
Die.
Yeah. Die. So just know, if you're ever worried about why should I support these people, it's because we've literally been in the space supporting artists, supporting other builders, trying to build and support the whole ecosystem and make it a more sustainable, valuable, trustworthy place for everybody. And then we've poured our hearts and souls into it. So give us a like.
We still get faded. We still, people still are like,
oh my
I don't
God.
know about those guys. I you know what? I got a funny feeling about this guy or that guy. And I got a funny feeling that we put out something on X about NFT Live having been in this space for fucking 3 years, doing exactly what GiftEd said. And we still got to deal with people who are side by side with us, calling us out. It doesn't make any sense. Stop grift. It's not even a grift. What's the word I'm using for this? I'm in this with y'all.
It's hating. It's hating. It's just hating. Yeah, hating on the people around you that are all swimming in the same direction as you, and trying to like raise all ships.
Seabiscuit scene where he's just getting beat by the other guy riding the horse. It's like,
well, it's crabs in a bucket, man. It's the PvP crabs in a bucket mentality and a zero-sum game, instead of everybody coming together to realize that, hey, we can grow the whole pie together if we actually make this an interesting and awesome place to exist and to do commerce and to build together, instead of making it a negative, toxic shithole by just crapping on everybody and everything around us.
But that aside, let's move on.
Philosophy.
Yeah.
Let's keep digging. Yeah.
All right, we still have Huda. Huda, you're amazing, by the way. The fact that you got all these things to be doing, you're providing some value here on NFT Live on a Monday. Hop out whenever if you need to, man. You've been amazing the whole time through. Thanks for the Quantum Cats updates as well. Base is an altchain we've been covering that, I mean, there are multiple things. I don't even want to get into it. That we found this pretty early, and I did not allocate capital as nicely as I should have. I did get into a couple DeFi projects, and one of them was listed on Coinbase or set to be listed. That was pretty well. A couple of these meme coins have like 20 or 30x'd since we were talking about them. Just did not allocate. This is another one, just in case he's sitting up here saying we didn't get into MochiMon. We were in Toshi and Mochi, but did not get into MochiMon, which is now at a 0.5 ETH floor. Do you guys have anything on MochiMon specifically?
Totally ignorant about it.
I mean, look, what we all know is we need another cat PFP, quantum cats, mochis, MochiMons. We need more cats in the NFT space. So let's all acknowledge that fact. Toshi was the Toshis was pretty much the only other like legit PFP that I really knew about, other than maybe on-chain dinos. It's so early. It's still so early that something like this that already had a pretty successful token launch was bound to do well, or get a lot of interest. Again, I think just because it's early and there's not a lot of like infra or coverage or whatever, the community, we're not fully tapped in just yet, other than getting more through Apex, etc. We're starting to make inroads there. I think we just didn't really know about this mint specifically, because if I had been paying attention a little bit more closely, I definitely would have been talking more about it, because I've got the Mochi token. But yeah, I got into both the Mochi and the Toshi token, but I just faded it or slept on it, didn't know about it.
Yeah, Jesse, unfortunately, unless we have somebody heavy into base, me and Biggie Poppins were just like at the bottom of the barrel of the Kool-Aid.
We got to get Apex on NFT Live.
Yeah,
he said he'd come on the show. We got to get Apex to start coming on here. Yeah, we're starting to get a little bit more of that community vibing with us.
Yeah,
in the tribe.
On-chain Dinos actually has done well since we had them on the channel. I think they were 0.03. So a nice little double up there if you bought some on-chain dinos. This is not financial advice, by the way. But yeah, on-chain dinos doubling up since last week's episode with them.
God damn.
Let me take you on a journey real quick. This was Thank You Based God. You can see up here you really can't see up in the corner, but this was the meme coin that I've been talking to you about. So this is fantastic. This is a journey that I've been on. I was watching this. I'm looking at it. Okay, let me get a 2x here. Let me sell the top, buy the bottom. And I sold around here, right? Like we got a little bit of a pump. I'm like, you know what? That's fine.
That's a win.
Fine.
It's a win.
It's a win.
Profits are profits.
And then days go by. Yeah. Profits are profits. Here we go. Here we go. There's the base god chart for you. It's 20x since I sold what have you.
Wow.
That's probably one of the other meme coins, and it might be too late at this point. Maybe it's not. But I've left that. Base God also did an NFT, a la this Mochi NFT, where if you held a certain amount, and I think Justin Casey actually did say all you need was 10 million Mochi, approximately $120 to get a mint of MochiMons NFT, which ended up being again 0.5 ETH.
I definitely had more than that. Then I fucked up. God damn it. We're getting some interesting comments here. Super Arsenal gets the most reactive, melodramatic comment of the day. R.I.P. Pudgies? Question mark.
Yo,
I hated it. 16 ETH.
Yeah, that's the funniest, most overdramatic post of the day. We're getting questions about Cardano. It's over, fam. Pudgies are done. We're getting, you heard it here first. Pudgies are fucking done, fam.
We told you we bring that alpha.
Yeah. PJ and Kim, we got questions about Cardano NFTs. You know, we actually, because we are chain agnostic and we're always trying to educate, we actually did. I remember on GM Web 3.
Yes, I do too.
We did a couple episodes trying to understand, but I never fully got over there. I don't even think I have like a Cardano wallet. So we did a couple shows to try and cover Cardano NFTs, but beyond that, have not really fucked with them yet. If you're the guy and you want to, really educate us, feel free to get more involved and maybe we can follow your lead a little bit. Army of Fortune, an Animoca backed project, announced some not great specs for their holders, saying only 1% of total supply with a 2-year vesting schedule. It was announced right before the token generation event. And so apparently Dingaling just cratered them. I wasn't in on that one, so I'm not actually familiar with that, but could be an interesting one to look into. And then Easy and Crypto finally made it. Y'all smash the like, send up some fucking hearts. Easy made it to the show, so it's a good day as far as I'm concerned.
Easy, we need to get the NFT Live Whip collaboration going, dude. I know you were one of the first people that ever attended the Whip. You've been a contributor with them for such a long time. Let's get the NFT Live Whip collaboration happening, dude. I'll DM you after the show. Yes, I didn't see the Army of Fortune one. It looks like they did. I mean, they said my safe word here, $3 million round led by Animoca Brands. I don't see the update here though from Cat that Katz is talking about. So what was the situation here? They were going to be like they were going to be locked up.
I guess there's a token generation event happening.
Okay.
And they announced some specs somewhere. Maybe it's only in Discord or something. Maybe go check Dingaling to see if he was like posting about it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Or if he just like sold them all off. Don't know. So we're trying to follow along this maybe breaking story in real time here. But again, shout out to all these amazing people coming through. Is Justin Casey in our he's in our VIP group, right?
I don't think so.
No, I feel like we got to get him in because if he knew about the 10 million Mochi to get in on the mint, like we could have used that info, man.
You better hope you're not in the Telegram
Justin
group
Casey,
right now, Justin.
If you're in our VIP group and you weren't dropping that alpha, we got a bone to pick with you. I specifically do because I definitely had more than that. But yeah, XNFT confirming here 1% to holders. Okay, Kat's saying look at Dingaling tweet.
Yeah, and it's right here. Dumped 143 Army of Fortune Metaverse founders keys after the team's latest update, taking a 60 ETH loss overall. Damn, Dingaling's looking like Mochi there. Shit.
Huh.
All right.
But I mean, we were talking about this like just last week, right? Like this whole points meta, or you're gonna get a token meta, but then the lack of clarity of the amount or the distribution or the multiplier or whatever. They just give you enough, to tantalize you into speculating, but they leave the door wide open to fucking rug the living shit out of you. You need to stop backing these fucking people, I don't care how juicy the speculation sounds.
All right, PJ and Kim is saying Sappy Seals is in cahoots with a Cardano project, the Ape Society, to promote a little Sappy drop on Cardano. It's hyping up right now.
All right.
Here's why I won't fuck with Cardano. It's an older chain that has had the opportunity to have the NFT meta and just hasn't gotten it. And I'll trust another like younger chain that maybe has more momentum behind it. I'm not trying to fully fade it. That's just my thesis.
Q, I'm right there too, because like I do look at Cardano often, at least on the charts, and like they're almost always outperforming the other guys. Like I mean that. While other guys are losing value, and I look at those indexes, ETH, Solana, Polygon, all in the red. Cardano is consistently in the green, but man, there's just this thing where it feels like it's people hanging on, and I don't feel any actual building and momentum there. It's weird. It's a weird ecosystem. I agree with you, bro. I don't know how it's hung on to that spot with a little activity that it's had. And I say a little, like relatively, it's probably a lot, but not compared to things that we see on a consistent basis. Yeah, in a way, it's almost like the Magic Eden OpenSea thing. Like they just don't have that little extra something, that special thing that Magic Eden has, that thing that puts them over the top.
Well, I'll make a parallel to Polygon here, and that's that there's a certain feel that you get when it has the what we call the culture, which is sort of that like organic community of supporters that and builders that are really out there being super vocal about what they fuck with, why they love it, what they don't, that are very, very public, creating that sort of like front facing aspect and all those optics that you pick up on with something like a SEI. And part of it ties to me to the brand, like each of these chains having its own sort of brand and identity, and Polygon and Cardano both to me feel like they're more B2B than B2C. Both of them feel more like a sort of corporate, like I don't know if corporate, but like more of that infra type of chain. They don't feel like a B2C brand. And I've been saying this about Polygon now for a long time, that it's like I kind of wish they would just lean really fucking hard into being the like branded platform, Web 2 to Web 3 launchpad, whatever that is, of like partnering with the big brands, creating custom marketplaces and custom platforms for big brands, and maybe some gaming too, or whatever else that goes along with the like creating those custom platforms. I think that makes sense for Polygon. I just don't think it's ever thrived as a B2C retail chain where it courts that type of interest and consumer. And that's kind of how I feel the same about Cardano. Whatever it is, the brand of that chain feels very academic, sort of very like white collar infrastructure. I don't know what it is. And I don't know who the people are that are out there. And again, maybe we just are not in it. I know that there's other parts of crypto Twitter, crypto X, whatever, in the community that we're not as active in. And so you don't see a lot of that through your filter bubbles, whatever it is. Maybe that's the case. And there are a whole bunch of really active Cardano people out there, and there's a vibrant culture, but it's hard for me to get that when I'm not seeing any of it.
I agree with you. I'm trying to shed a little bit more spotlight. Huda, later, dude.
See you guys. Have a great show. Bye.
See you tomorrow. I'm trying to like extend the spotlight here to maybe their inability to court DeFi. So I know for a fact, Flow, we've had like, we know folks that are building out the DeFi side on the Flow blockchain. And we know, for example, that Flow was not able to do the exact same thing. on the NFT side. And so I look at some of these chains that have a lot of really good NFT ecosystems. There's a strong DeFi community there as well. So that's what I'll say on that is like, I think there is some tie-in here to having a really built out DeFi ecosystem that allows this NFT thing to blossom. I think honestly, there's something there. I think if you don't have a really good DeFi ecosystem, which I don't think Cardano does, then that's my
PJ. Yeah, PJ and Kim, has some good points here though. Thinking that it's been in a long build phase, needs to get its legs. Builders are engaged, so it's not just a basic pamp. Yeah, everybody has been saying that, but he's saying I still think it could sneak out of nowhere and blow up. You're right though; it needs to find its identity, and yeah, I think it has that potential because it has such a strong foundation. It's been around so long that like if the right application or use case or something does really pick up over there, then I agree it has that breakout potential, right? Because again, it's got so much infra that it's just like it'll be pretty easy for people to get in and start playing around if they have the right motivation to do that.
Yeah. Cardano's that's been the thesis for Cardano the whole time. Like it's been 3 years ago, they were in the same spot. It's like, maybe they'll get it. Just in case, saying good point with DeFi non-existent. Agreed. I can't put my finger on the actual like verbiage of this thesis, but it's something.
It makes me want to talk briefly about Avalanche here because Dokio, which I've been pointing out for the last couple weeks because it's been like, holy shit, it's been like a top 5 PFP on CryptoSlam. Dokio's number 1. Avalanche PFP, Dokio, number 1 most traded NFT in 24-hour sales. And Q, the reason why I go there specifically is because you talk about the DeFi was being necessary to supporting a robust B2C retail NFT user or whatever. They've been leaning heavier into that by supporting specifically Memecoins as a legitimate asset class. So does that make you more bullish on Avalanche NFTs and the Avalanche ecosystem that they're actually taking DeFi and Memecoins very specifically serious?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's something that I think maybe we've indirectly felt for a while, but more so, yeah. I mean, that just leans into the thesis for sure. If they have a robust DeFi ecosystem, there's probably going to be liquidity enough to have some type of culture. And DeFi has a culture too. I know people like shit on it all the time, but DeFi has a lot of interesting cultural aspects as well that can bust out of it. Sometimes that goes too far. Like I think Milady's is a great example. They've got kind of this 4chan kind of DeFi feel to them when it comes to like communities I've been in. Sometimes it goes too far in that direction. So, all right, I've got a quick couple updates, and then me and Biggie Poppins and Gifted have been going pretty freaking heavy into SEI, so we'll touch on that. The thumbnail was about Pudgy Penguins, so I don't know if we're gonna get to that. But I feel like the conversation's almost semantic at this point. But this is a classic like sell the news event here. Buy the rumor that we were wondering last week. We even covered it on NFT Live. Why were people buying DeadFellaz? DeadFellaz was up like 30, 40, 50% at one point. And we were kind of pontificating what the fuck is happening. Well, the announcement came yesterday and then everybody dumped. So I think DeadFellaz is down like 33% on the day, but our subsidiary Darewise has announced a strategic partnership with DFC Labs, creators of the reputed Web3 brand DeadFellaz, and this comes from Animoca Brands. So this was the announcement. Obviously, they have the trading card game coming in 2085. I'm looking forward to play. But yes, big announcement here.
my grandchildren are looking forward to playing.
But yes, Animoca Brands partners
Thank you, Grandpa
with Darewise. This is dope. I mean, for if they're leaning into the trading card game, they need to make the right partnerships, and Animoca is the first step a lot of times. So
I have I don't know if I can say this publicly.
Okay, then don't say it, please. Don't get us fined.
Yeah.
All right, Biggie Poppins, I did want to talk about SEI. You've been all over it. You've been in the Naked Dob DAO, getting after it on the front lines of what this SEI ecosystem is doing. Excited to hear about your takes, what you're seeing.
I saw what you did.
Also, yes, we put out our second edition. I'm doing these weekly of the SEI NFT rankings. It's getting out of hand. It's hard to separate. When you see something like this, it's hard to separate the signal from the noise when it comes to the middle of the pack. There's a lot of in the middle of the pack. And I know the Seagulls were getting after my ass. I had them in the wrecked category, but apparently they're doing some cool stuff, apparently, that you were saying. But yeah, this is the rankings. Well, let's talk about SEI for a little bit. What are you seeing, man? What's going on?
Just activity like I haven't seen since like 28 ICOVAs, right? Like just ridiculous amounts of chatter and building and projects popping up left and right. And like you said, a lot of Me Too projects, a lot of copycat projects. But then within all that, there's these teams that are building like really cool projects, you know, and that's what's got me pumped about it, right? Like there is a different feel about it from the get-go since I jumped in, and because I feel like I fell behind in that with both of you, you know, adopting it way sooner than I did, I feel like I have to catch up. That's what I'm trying to do. How about you, brother?
Yes, we are the early adopters, that's part of our community. I don't know, man. I'm very wary right now, and like I was kind of getting after the Astro guys mint, which you is liking, and so he didn't like my initial thoughts on that. But I'm very wary right now that well, no, I'm judging based off of my experience and what and what I'm seeing, and that's my own subjective biases and whatever, but. I'm very wary that, like you were saying, Biggie, that there is a lot of that sort of Me Too, jump on the hype train, try and capture the momentum and just launch any low effort stuff right now. And there's going to be a ton of that. And I'm trying my best. And it's very hard because, like you're saying, Q, like you don't know a lot of times which are going to be the actual teams that do show up and create legitimate products. You don't always know that. It can be hard to tell. I'm trying to analyze it as best I can. But what I'm trying desperately not to do with this is what I did with Ethereum NFTs. And that's that being super early, being, following the hype and the FOMO, I bought all kinds of fucking junk. I wasted ETH on every single fucking PFP mint that was coming out that anybody even mentioned. If anybody even like said something about anything to me, it was like, hey, did you see this thing? I was like, I'm going to go fucking buy some of those. I bought every fucking ETH PFP that was early during like 2021 and a lot of 2020, probably like the first half of 2022 also. Just bought fucking everything. And now I have, not only did I waste a ton of valuable ETH doing that and time and energy and heartbreak, by the way, but I have wallets that are filled with fucking junk that I don't even like to look at, right? It's the spray and pray. And so I'm trying really hard to at least keep my standards of the types of things that I'm going to support a little bit higher, do the actual due diligence that everybody says you should do your own research and try and do more of that. And just not FOMO into every single possible thing on SEI, because that's the danger right now, is that everything that's coming out you think is worth buying and most of it's not.
I almost have to figure out the best way to talk about this stuff, and I know we love to kind of create terminology around some of the features that pop up on the show, but I want to have the combo between what we were talking about this morning, GIF, which is it quality / the other combo, is it an opportunity that will pay off in the end profit wise? Like from a let me allocate some funds here. I'll give a quick example. Being early on base and buying into thank you base god, I faded the moon but I was there early enough. I bought into some. They don't have. I mean, they got an NFT plan, maybe, right? This was a month ago when I bought it. It was like during Christmas season, and they were like saying they had an NFT coming, and like it was just when you compare it to anything on ETH, you're sitting there like, this is fucking hilariously bad. This is bad. And so the first convo I want to have is, yes, that is not a product that potentially I want to spend multiple hours in. But based on the timing, the thesis around base, all of this different stuff, isn't an opportunity to make money and profit. That's what I'm trying to say. It has alpha involved. And so when I look at something like Astro Boys, it's not me saying this is going to be fucking amazing. It's like there's a product here. Potentially. Now, if they're completely lying, then that's a whole nother thing. But I need a term for that. I need to find some term for that, because I'm having two different combos. I think we are having two different combos. Right?
Well, no, it gets into a lot of nuance, right? And also the subjectivity of it as well. But here's where we agree is that like the standard for SEI right now is not necessarily the standard for Ethereum. And so pretending like they're the exact same animal is not necessarily true. However, like we use Mochaverse as an example of, how my aesthetic biases, at least, led me wrong, probably led all of us wrong. But here's where it's very nuanced to me, right? This is where I'm really trying to understand the differences. Mochaverse was a stylistic aesthetic bias. Not look at Mochaverse and their PFP and call that low effort, illegitimate art. They have a legit artist who has a very iconic, unique style that apparently a ton of people are very familiar with and like, and it's all very clean, fat line PFP art. That's just a stylistic thing, but I would never look at Mochaverse and necessarily call that a low effort cash grab piece of shit. That is purely an aesthetic bias, but is not low effort. What I'm concerned about is how many PFP projects that have actually low effort, not very good quality junk have turned out to be absolutely super legit execution teams. And I think that the number of those is very, very small, because again, what I'm trying to say is if you can't execute on creating a good quality PFP, I personally, this is me, and again, Q, this is where we diverge. This is where we diverge. I'm saying if I can't trust you to at least create a PFP that I look at and I can see some kind of artistic integrity in it, I'm not going to trust that you can also deliver, decentralized tech products that are going to change the fucking.
But see, that's where it gets conflated. I am looking at an opportunity, GIF, even in the hours after I mint this thing. It's not about that is the difference in combo. I totally vibe with the fact that is this team going to be able to create the long-term trading terminals? It's the sentiment around whether they can. Do you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah. And I think it's very important to just kind of make the decision before you go in there. It's what are you going to do? Kind of have sizing in mind, how much capital are you going to bring into that system, and then allocate it in what specific order, right? If you're a flipper, right? I think a potential great play for you would be get a wee bump and then just mint all these whitelist and flip those, right? And you just kind of stress-free way to ride, right?
That's the play right now.
If you're looking at hey, you know what? I think SEI has potential. I think I want to bet on the SEI ecosystem actually becoming a thing, and I don't want to be flipping and all that. Well, then you have a little more choice, right? Then Colin to the discussion. Dobbs come into the discussion, and a couple of other things where you can just kind of go check out the community, see what each one's building and what they're about, and try to position yourself. That's been my approach, right? I wanted to get my foot in the door of what I see as some of the first top, builder communities where I see earnest people that are betting on this ecosystem. And then from there, I'm kind of degening a little bit here and there. I haven't flipped much really, because that's not my intention. But I think it's very important to get your mindset when you're venturing out of, say, I still keep it in BTC and ETH, right? Like BTC and ETH should be your core, and then everything else that you're like you got to see it as like fucking the Lion King, right? Like you're Simba and you're going out into the shadow territory. It's like, how far are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go explore, and what are you plan to do that? Like, what's your plan? Exactly. You're gonna go chill with the hyenas? Well, just fucking know you're gonna be surrounded by motherfuckers like that, and you don't want to be buying every single thing they fucking shill at you all the time. And you kind of know how to read between the lines and play the game. Right?
Yeah. No, dude, a fantastic point. And it comes down to what you're looking to do, and a lot of times you can do both, right? Or you can do instead of either. Gif, I want to try to use a thought experiment here. If you could remove what WeBump is doing from your mind, say this is the first time you saw this, what would you say based on your thesis of what you were just talking about of the art? Would you believe in this team to get something done?
This is an interesting one because it's very much on the border where it's like if I look through this, I'm pretty sure I can see like, okay, I see a clear vision of these sloths. It's not necessarily my aesthetic style, and so yeah, if I was just looking at this purely on the art, it would be a hard thing for me to get behind, and I probably would lean towards feeling like it wasn't the greatest pixel art ever. But it's on that border of me saying like, oh, this is definitely low effort. I don't know that I would call this necessarily low effort pixel art as much as I would say it's not my favorite style.
Okay.
So it's an interesting one because it's right on that sort of fine line.
Seems like an outlier as well. Yeah. Speaking of outliers, we have outlines. Me and Biggie Poppins, I think we're straight up in the Kool-Aid, all around the Kool-Aid, smoking that good stuff on the hopium. We were calling outlines to like 500 to 700 say.
Oh, thank God they're coming back down. Maybe I can actually get one. I was so pissed about this over the weekend, bro.
You got to set your gas to high, man.
I guess. Yeah, I learned that. Look, I haven't gotten in on a mint yet, and I haven't been using Compass Wallet long enough to mint. So that's what I learned is, make sure if you're getting in on a fast moving mint, toggle over. It's pretty easy. You just got to toggle over, hit that high gas, and maybe you won't do what I did and fucking sit there and watch your transaction while it mints out.
So this mint low supply. That's definitely a meta that we've touched on. Actually, it's not that low supply. It's like right on the border. 4,000 is right on that border of what's working in SEI right now. It went up to about 375. I believe it went down. Gif, can you? Jesus Christ. 120 say is where the marketplace is right now. But Biggie, it did almost get up to your prediction here. Of like, I think it was like 600 you were calling it. But then it came crashing back down. It's at 120 say. I still think this does well. The art actually is pretty good, even I think for ETH.
I'm gonna try and buy in around these levels. Maybe it comes down a little bit more. I hope it does make it easier on me. But this is actually good art with a really legit team, and there's so few good art projects that this is gonna be one of the earliest like legit sort of fine art PFP NFTs.
I didn't even get this. Is this what you're pointing at?
No, he's over here saying like I'm talking about art. He says the Chungos holder. Yo, there's actually some like real smart design behind the Chungos, and you can see the actual quality of them as an IP through the way that Chief Chungo continuously brings them to life in a million different ways. Look, dude, they are Keith Haring-esque, and that guy knew what he was doing to create a memeable Keith Haring-esque simple, clean, bright colored character. So like you might not like Chungos, but
the Chungos look cute.
Dude, Chungos
whoever shit talking my man's Chungos, just give it a little time. Just let them
Yeah.
hit 100 ETH and then tell me how fucking ugly they are.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna get to, so Astro Guys comes up. I need to dive in here. I'll probably be tweeting about it, whether I'm getting in. It's in about an hour, maybe 30 minutes now. Is the Astro Guys mint again? Biggie Poppins mentioned, and I still think it's the right play. WeBump is the move right now if you're looking to get involved in these ecosystems. I mean, just with the outlines mint, if you're selling them at the top, like a 350, I got 3 outlines. If I'm selling them, it's like literally half of a WeBump. So you're sitting there like, that's still the opportunity. It's still even right now, it's still the opportunity. Although what you are seeing, Biggie, it doesn't give a full whitelist. Like with WeBump, they basically like everybody gets it. It's these other communities like Dob and Colony and even some smaller collections are actually getting whitelist opportunities. Not as much. They're like, hey, we have 100 opportunities here. Join the giveaway. But they're starting to ramp that up. So you might be able to enter giveaways that way for this.
Yeah. I just wonder at some point though, right? Like the whitelist meta, what would be the word? Is it going to get diluted? I mean, like we're saying, right? Like at some point, the value of these drops, it's gonna drop, right? And I wonder if some of these teams like Yaka, right, like the more significant, bigger finance, the ones that raise money, are gonna go the route of allocating these whitelists like this, right, like to communities, or even use the product from these communities, right, instead of building their own. But at the moment, I do think that there's a lot of value to be derived from holding a WeBump. Unfortunately, that's one of the few that I faded, right? But I remember having that discussion with UQ, and I went for the culture play, which is Dobbs, right? Like I feel like if Dobbs manages to pull off what they're attempting to do, it's going to break away significantly from everybody else, right? In terms of value community, right? Like that, and so. That's my hedge, and there's no guarantees in life, folks. But you're asking me why I spend so much time over on the SEI network and with the NYC. It's because of that. I'm a believer.
PJ and Kim saying, you guys give me safe FOMO, to be honest. And then we got Fisker Karma saying, thanks for exposing me to SEI palette. Really enjoy the NFTs and ecosystem. Look, we are doing the Lord's work here every single day, Monday through Friday here, fam. So if you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? Get over there and smash the like while you're at it. We appreciate you.
All right, so we're diving balls deep into SEI. It's a reason why, honestly, we've faded some of the things that have launched and we should have been paying attention to on base and stuff like that, is because we can't, obviously cover everything. We are doing these morning shows, okay? So we got Say What in the morning. We're still doing the after dark versions as well. We're gonna get those on the schedule. So we're covering SEI ecosystem like daily at this point, and sometimes twice a day. So yeah, definitely get after that, guys. You follow us at Web3 to be alerted when that stuff goes live, and just following all the content we're doing. All right, there was a couple other things I quickly wanted to hit. SEI Chicks is an interesting one. We made the call at 7 SEI that these were going to fucking fly after the SEI Opal piece. They went to like 80. So it was almost a 10. It was a 10x for these. The interesting part, and why I bring this up, is because once Palette allows for like mass listing or mass like dumping and mass sweeping, that's doing something like that where, oh my God, SEI Opals just announced that they've got it. I'll buy 50 SEI Chicks for like $200 or something like that, and then sell them for 5x in like a day. Right now, that's a manual process. You'd have to list all 50 of these SEI Chicks to make like $100 or two. And so I think once that gets implemented, man, it's going to be crazy. And it might be the Saiyans. The Saiyans are building a marketplace that they said is going to be basically the blur to Palette's OpenSea.
Yeah,
so
I like the Saiyans. That's another project I've slowly been adding to my bag. I think they're going to be great.
Me and Gif were lamenting SEI City here. We're actually wrapping up here in the next 5 minutes, folks. SEI City are they were actually flaming us too. Nor have they retweeted anybody posting about them. That's also
why were they flaming us? What did we do to them?
They hated that they were in the wrecked category, and I'm sorry, but the art, like, they haven't retweeted a damn single thing. That's not even their art. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. This is just tough. I'm not trying to be negative whatsoever here on these
but
rankings.
you gotta call it. You gotta call it for what it is, man. You know, that's clearly a ripoff of Oni, though. Like that one, especially with the hat.
But happy to have you on the channel and come over and talk about it and tell us how it isn't. Fucking, like, please.
Dude, look, even just if you scroll through this and look at the color palette, whoever made this is not is a Fiverr / wannabe Fiverr art. This isn't even good Fiverr art.
Jesus Christ, no, he's got like a major case of herpes here.
Yeah, but like literally, it doesn't even have an aesthetic color palette to the like. When you start with a design, this is literally graphic design, illustration, like 101. Like, if you've ever taken any sort of art or design class, then the first thing you have to understand is color theory. That's literally step one to being a good artist or designer, is understanding color theory. If you can't even pick out an aesthetically pleasing color palette to like build, to like literally step one of before you're making a thing, like you shouldn't be launching big projects and expecting people to be nice about how they look, because you don't even understand the basic of good design.
All right, we just got an announcement here from the Rabbit Project. Biggie, I think this is the impetus, okay? It says powered by Lighthouse, so Webump's going to handle it all the way. It's on the 5th of February. This is an idle game that's probably going to net you some type of tokens by playing Rabbit. Like, we know the narrative here, right? I think this is probably the impetus, man. Like, the Rabbit, I don't know what Cappy's looks like when it comes to Webump allocation, but if Lighthouse, if they're highlighting Webump like this, it's probably time.
Yeah, you'll have a chance to get access. Is it always
it's not even
like
a chance,
every
bro.
single
it's every single time?
Every single Webump always.
Always.
Okay, that's fucking. I mean, that's really impressive. That's dope. How many Webumps are there? Like 3K or something?
Yeah,
so you're talking.
People were mentioning, the supply shock piece of this. So I think it is 3. It's like 3. Let me.
But that's crazy, right? Like many of these collections are not 10K collections. So if you're guaranteeing Webump each one, and you're like a 5K collection, and one must ask, right? Q, in that regard, it's like, okay, well, for Webumps, it's a great opportunity for access, right? And to both like access a project that's interesting and great, or potentially flip for profit. The problem is, though, then every single time you're allocating to the exact same people.
Yep. And they sell that on secondary, and you're hoping that people can get in on secondary. That's what's happening.
Yeah, that can eventually fall apart, I feel. It's not great distribution. It's not onboarding necessarily new people.
Yep.
But at the same time, right? Like, that is the proposition that Webump is kind of based upon right now, holding a Webump, right? I don't believe like you guys get any revenue share, right, from minting or this or that. Okay, so I don't know. Let's see how it plays out. I, for one, I feel like a good chunk of the projects that will be relevant in the space have already been minted. So that's what I'm focusing on most now. Like, I'm still playing around. I'm still searching. The other day I ate into fucking seagulls, for Christ's sake, and I didn't have a lot of information. I was just like,
I think that is where the alpha is found. For people that can't get access to the whitelist, you got projects that are like 7 say that turns into 14 say in an instant. Like,
yeah, I wanted to say something real quick on this rabbits thing that you just pulled up, this announcement. Can we go back and look at that art more closely?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
You're saying like
there's something, and any time that you're sexualizing animals, it makes me feel uncomfortable.
Are you talking about his quads?
I'm talking just more in general, that it's like big boobied rabbit women with like jacked, like,
it's like anime culture though, isn't it? Like, all the chicks have,
it's
like
furry
double
culture.
yeah.
it's close to bestiality, right? Like it's bestiality adjacent.
Giff,
Oh
why
my
do you
God.
fade yourself out of
Okay.
these things? Because you like go into these weird like tangents of like this is weird.
My bias is that anytime you're sexualizing animals, it makes me a little bit uncomfortable. I
Then
just
maybe-
wanted to point it out.
Maybe fight that
Am I
bias
the- am I the
and
only
actually do
one?
the opposite.
Am I the only one that gets uncomfortable around sexualized animals?
We have fucking
right.
apes that are like in fucking having
They're
a
not-
thing
they're
coming out of
not-
their booty hole.
Bored apes they are not sexualizing bored apes.
There's a fucking key coming out of a butt.
But that's not really the same thing as sexualizing it. That's just being like kind of gross and like
Give if
campy.
these little comics are the things that worries you about perversing humanity, you need to look elsewhere, brother. There's way worse things out there than
All right.
cartoon bunnies fucking.
See, so Yaka's right up at the top here. So we finally got a little bit of a coming soon here. I believe it's the 31st.
I'm bummed out. I don't think I have a WoW list yet. I don't understand.
Me neither, Gif. We are bumpless.
So Sagles is one at 16 say. Sagix is a really low supply, and I still think this one does well. Like it might not look as nice as when it was fucking 7 say, but this ran up to 80 or 90 say recently, and I still think low supply 2K is where you should start placing your bets. This is NFA.
Can we tap in and look at the Saychix art?
No, we can't, Gif.
Really?
It's not about the art. I don't want the biases.
I'm holding
Just
a couple.
press buy.
I'm holding a couple. I just thought it was interesting to have. We had some friends come up on Say What saying that they were loving the art, and like I think it's, as far as pixel art goes, I think it's decently good, but it's not like amazing. I'm not like
I think we're reserving what we really want to say on that. If Say City went with the low effort art and the 8,000 supply here, so either they're really wanting that community, they are below 1 say here, so they are in the infamous group that is below 1 say,
and then they have
an 8K collection.
I can't believe they had the audacity when it's like. For those of us who have been in this space for as many crypto millennia as we've been in here, we can immediately look at this and say, like, this is a bunch of people who have no idea what they're doing. Like from the design side of it, they even used like the most cliched like Asian font that you could ever use in their logo. The design's terrible. It's clearly a ripoff of Oniforce that doesn't even have a solid color palette. And then you've got a supply like that on top of this thing. And then they have the audacity to come at you and be like, why would you put us so low on your ranking? What are you thinking? Like, what are you thinking? You don't know what the fuck you're doing. It's a bad project.
I love it.
He just ruined any chance of these guys ever joining us on stage. God damn it! Like,
damn,
we were just about to onboard them. Gif.
Look, fam, look, we are the one thing that we do up here is we bring the most honest editorial that you can get from a bunch of experienced people in the space. We're never just pumping you on a bunch of bullshit. We're always transparent about what we're in on, what we like, what we don't. We'll always be honest with y'all. We're not going to sit up here and fucking lie to you because there's people paying us, because nobody's fucking paying us. We do this because we love it, and that's why we keep doing it. So nobody's paying for us to be up here and shill shit to you. We will always just give you the honest fucking truth of what we see and what we think. So smash the like for reality.
I love Gift's takes here on the show today. We are about to press end. We've got like I swear to God, 2 minutes. Quantum Variant saying Buy Outlines is the best art project on Say LOLs. I can't tell if you're making fun of it. I actually appreciated the art there.
I think he's being somewhat serious about that. I think he's more joking that there's not a lot of other good art.
I was gonna say it's the only art one right now.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Quantum Variant. Maybe we're misunderstanding.
I will say the Astro Guys is and it's this 2 minutes upcoming in 15 minutes. Astro Guys is 4,444. That's going to be 15 to 25 say. So, yeah, I need to look into this before I mint that. Although 15 to 25 say, it's not a ton. I don't know, but Saitama is interesting to me because it's a free mint and it has a 2,000 supply. I just think right now there's enough interest to send a collection that is that low. I can't explain it other than that. If you have a less than 2,000 collection, you're just gonna potentially see an increase. I can't
if you
explain it
get
other than
in
that.
for free.
Well, for sure, but even maybe even like a 10 or an 8. I'm talking. If you can get in on these low collections, I really think that's the meta right now. Buy up what you think will be here, not the dog shit that you think is not going to be here in 3 months. Buy these early collections, even if you didn't get in for free. Buy a Saitama if you think there's something long that has longevity with it. Buy these 7 to 10 say collections. They're low enough supply that when everybody gets in, it's just a math problem at that point. It's an economics problem. It's 2,000. Now, if you do that same thing with an 8,000 collection, I can't help you. But buy all of these. Not financial advice. I'm buying all of these low supply collections. It's to me that I think will be around.
That's a little bit of a shotgun approach, but it might work out. Only time will tell on that one. I hope it works out for you. Here's what I'm doing. I'm looking for the ones that I'm genuinely interested in. Right now, I'll tell you what those are. Outlines, Yaka, whatever, the Voyagers.
Yep.
Cappies, right? I'm going to be interested in that. And the other one that's just popping up on my radar right now that seems like it's going to be interesting is Sapes. I don't know a lot about it. I'm just starting to see a lot of interest in it. And if nobody's done a legit Sapes, then that just makes sense. So as long as it's decent quality, I'm probably going to be watching that one. I guess the Rabbit one has a lot of people talking too. I'm being half serious about like the art's a little bit cringy to me. That is aesthetic bias, so I'm aware of that. I think that one has a fair amount of hype and interest, and if it has a legit game, it's like one of the first games, then that Rabbit one's probably going to do pretty well. Okay. Those are the ones that I'm really interested in. Other than, of course, fucking Dobbs. I don't have a Wii Bump yet. I want more Dobbs, and I still want a Colony as well. I'd love to get more Dobbs, more Saiyans, and a Colony and a Wii Bump.
A Dob is a Dob, sir.
So we'll be having multiple whitelist giveaways on Say What in the morning with the Web3 network and what we're doing over there. So you guys should tune in at 11 a.m. for all of these like whitelist giveaways coming this week. We've got the Say Whales, also formerly Sega. They're going to be on the show. We've got a couple other ones. What was the guy's name this morning? Not Old One. Sold One. I think it's Sold One.
Yeah.
And also Alive by Simply, who is a Dob. So all of these guys coming through the network, going to be giving away whitelists. Definitely tune in.
Yeah, that one could be interesting too. Again, because there's not a lot of good art, and the Alive looks pretty. They're pretty good. I've seen some of them. They're pretty good.
All right, Biggie Poppins, Gifted. You guys have been awesome the whole time. Appreciate everybody that tuned in today. Again, we're going to be doing it all again tomorrow. Please stop by. Please leave a like for the homies up here. Biggie Poppins, then Gifted to get us out.
Fam, this is just your friendly reminder that we are in January. It's January. It's still fucking January. Like, pace yourselves, try to stay liquid because there's plenty of opportunity coming down the line. So, like, make sure to, like, compartmentalize your life and that FOMO. And with that, I will see you tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
BOT.
Appreciate you, Biggie. Appreciate you, Nifty Q. Appreciate all y'all for hanging out with us here on a Monday episode of NFT Live. We'll be back tomorrow with this amazing episode. Smash the like. Make sure to subscribe and let your friends know where we're at. We appreciate y'all. Our vibe, our tribe.